Mr. President,
Majority Leader.
Pursuant to Impeachment Rule 16, I make a motion. Statements were attributed to me moments ago by the House impeachment managers. Statements relating to the content of conversations between a phone call involving President Trump and Senator Tuberville were not made by me. They're not accurate, and they're contrary to fact. I move, pursuant to Rule 16, that they be stricken from the record.
Pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution.
Mr. President, right here, we might as well hear clearly what the ruling of the chair was. So if you would repeat that.
Of course, I will. And pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, the parties' presentations are not limited. Pursuant to Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. The senator from Utah has appealed that ruling. Is that correct?
Yes, I have.
Sufficient.
And what is the question? Is it, shall the ruling of the chair be sustained? Is that the question?
Yes.
Whether the ruling of the chair with respect to
No.
And what, may I ask, is the ruling of the chair? My point was not about whether it's appropriate for them to make characterizations. My point was to strike them because they were false.
the chair that Senate Resolution 47 applies to this situation is correct.
The question is whether Senate Resolution 47, Section 4, is correct. The parties' presentations are not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution.
Mr. President, that is not my motion. You've ruled on a motion. You've ruled on something that was not what I moved. What I asked was, statements were attributed to me repeatedly, as to which I have personal knowledge because I am the source. They are not true. I never made those statements. I asked that they be stricken. This has nothing to do with whether or not they're based on depositions, which they're not. It's simply based on the fact that I'm the witness. I'm the only witness. Those statements are not true, and I ask that you strike them.
President. So what they're referring to was House impeachment manager David Cicilline, who was, it was before they played the Rudy Giuliani voicemail to Tommy Tuberville. This was on the phone call. It was based on a CNN report indicating that he called Mike Lee's cell phone, the president did, and then from there, then Mike Lee apparently handed the phone. This was according to David Cicilline's presentation. So this is basically the moment they're debating right now. We'll take you back.
Why is it false? What was not false? What was false about it?
Mr. President, I ask unanimous consent to answer the senator's question.
Is not in order under Senate Resolution 47, Section 4. Parties' presentation not limited to the record provided for in Section 1 of that resolution. And that has been appealed. The yeas and nays have been requested. The clerk will call the roll.
The challenge here is that, and you summed it up nicely, what Senator Lee is objecting to, which is how this account of what happened on the day, this call from President Trump that had reportedly come in to Senator Lee. The issue here is senators are actually not allowed to speak on the floor during an impeachment trial. You may remember that from the last time we did this about a year ago. They are allowed to make motions. So I think what Schumer may have been referring to there as he was caught on that microphone is that they can't really have this conversation here. There is obviously some confusion on the dais on the part of Leahy, who is presiding, and potentially the parliamentarian as well. It's been difficult to decipher exactly which rule they are trying to sort out. And as you can see, the senators are now gathering around what is the majority leader's desk now in the Senate to try and figure this out. And that voice that you heard there was Senator Joe Manchin speaking up and saying that he wants an explanation for what exactly was false in the manager's presentation. Mike Lee, I think we should remind everyone, is, Chuck, you know this well. He is somebody who focuses quite a bit on, I would say he's a stickler for the rules, if you will.
He's a procedure guy.
As you can see, there still seems to be a fair degree of confusion here on the floor. As you can see, I think we're looking mostly there at Democrats, or what the camera is showing. Now we're getting a wide
with
shot
Mike Lee. Yeah, we're
of
starting
the
to see
chamber,
that.
right?
The head nods at least indicate that they're going to come to some sort of resolution here.
The impeachment manager, Mr. Cicilline, correctly and accurately quoted a newspaper account, which the distinguished senator has taken objection to. So we're happy to withdraw it on the grounds that it is not true, because our case is based on cold, hard facts. It's all about the facts.